Now coming to the superclass tetrapods, that is bearing limbs, organisms which bear limbs, okay, under subphylum vertebrata. So the first of this class is Amphibia. So what are amphibians, children? These are the organisms which can live both in water and on land. Okay, now what is the purpose of, can you say some examples of amphibians? Yeah, the frogs and the salamanders. Only the frogs and the salamanders are examples under these things, under this class amphibians. Okay, now they are aquatic and terrestrial. They live both in aquatic medium as well as terrestrial medium. Okay, and the body is differentiated into a head and a trunk, and from the trunk you can find two pairs of legs or limbs, and the four limbs are shorter than the hind limbs. Okay, and they have two eyes located on the triangular head, on top of the head, with no eyelids, but they have a covering, a transparent covering called as tympanic membrane. Okay, and just at the back of these eyes you can find a patch like structure which represents the ears or tympanum. Clear? Okay, and unlike the fish's body is covered by scales, you know that, but here the skin is not covered by scales, but it is moist, okay, and not very smooth, right? And when you talk about this fish, from fishes to mammals, you have to talk about this heart, development of the heart and all the systems, because they show little from fishes to mammals. You can see there is improvement or there is development of these different systems in these organisms. The fishes have the heart having two chambers only, one atria and one ventricle. So here they have three-chambered heart. The amphibians have three-chambered heart, two auricles and one ventricle. And they are also poikilotherms, which is cold-blooded, which means cold-blooded. I told you what is cold-blooded already. Clear? And you just know the system, children, just by heart, that's it. Alimentary canal, the excretory and reproductive tracts open into a cloaca, which open to the exterior. All the three systems open in one opening called the cloaca. Okay, and how do they respire now? The larval stage, that is the tadpole stage, respire with the help of gills, and the adults have lungs, and also they respire with the help of skin. Cutaneous respiration also are seen in the case of frog. Okay, and there is male and female separate, frogs are separate, sexes are separate. And how do the fertilization happen, children? Both the male and the female deposit their eggs and sperms in water, and fertilization takes place externally. Clear? Fertilization is external, and as they lay at the eggs, they reproduce with the help of eggs. They are called as oviparous. And the development is indirect. You know that there is a larval stage in between. So the development is indirect. Clear? So these are the examples of the class Amphibia, which is the salamanders. And this is the limbless. They don't possess this limb. Limbless amphibian called as ichthyophis. These are the salamanders. Okay, right. Now coming to the next phylum, next class, reptiles or reptilia. These are the organisms which are completely developed to live on land. There is exceptions under each category. There will be exceptions, children. Okay, but amphibians, you know, they are the organisms which can live both, which needs the presence of water. They are land living but need the presence of water. But these reptiles are the organisms which have completely adapted to live on land conditions. That is, they are exposed to the sun's heat throughout the day. Okay, so they have developed their features accordingly. So they have dry and cornified skin. They have scales. Snakes have scales. Crocodiles have scutes, big scutes, or scale or plates or scutes on their body. Okay, right. And the snakes and lizards, they shed their scales or skin. You might have seen this castings of these snakes. They shed, that is molting. This process is called molting. They shed their skin once or twice their life. Okay, and they have 2 pairs of limbs. Most of them, snakes do not have any limbs, but others, examples, do have 2 pairs of limbs for moving around. And all the examples of this category are crawling animals. That is the meaning of reptilia. Crawling mode of locomotion. Okay, right. Now they are poikilotherms, you know that? Poikilotherms, they respire by lungs. They have well-developed digestive system. Fertilize. What about their reproduction? Yeah, they are oviparous, egg-laying. And the development is, you know that, direct or direct. Development is direct. And again, they have 3-chambered heart. But a septum divides that partially into, there is a septum which divides them partially. Okay, whereas crocodiles, only exception is crocodile. All the other examples have 3-chambered heart. Okay, whereas crocodile has 4-chambered heart. Clear? All these are the examples of the class Reptilia. The snakes, the chameleon, the tortoise, the crocodiles, the lizard, snakes, all kinds of snakes. All are examples of Reptilia, class Reptilia. Now coming to the next class, the aves or the birds, right? So these are the organisms which have taken to flight adaptation. So accordingly they are modified. They have adaptations for the flight. Okay, that is, instead of having 2 pairs of limbs, they have only 1 pair of limbs, and the other 4 limbs are modified into feathers. Okay, and the feathers and the whole body, you know, it is covered by feathers. Okay, right. And all this whole together gives the body lightweight, which is a modification for flight adaptation. Clear, children? Okay, we'll see all the other adaptations seen in birds now. Now, you know, they have feathers and also they have beak. Their mouth is provided with different types of beak in different kinds of birds according to their feeding habit. Okay, and 4 limbs are modified into wings, and they have dry skin without any glands, whereas in frogs and all, you find the skin is moist with the mucus secretion, right? Here they have the skin is completely dry except the oil gland at the base of the tail. They have some kind of oil gland at the base of the tail. Okay, and hind limbs have scales and are modified for walking. Hind limbs, only the 1 pair of legs, are modified in different birds for walking, for swimming in the case of ducks, for holding on to the prey in the case of eagle and vultures, isn't it? And for holding on to the branches and all, right? Accordingly, they are modified. The limbs are modified. Clear? And one of the special feature about aves is the presence of long, hollow, pneumatic bones. What do you mean by pneumatic bones? Presence of air inside the bones. And all this will give the bone or the whole body lightweight, which is an adaptation to, flight. Clear, children? Okay. And there is a tympanum at the back of the eyes, which represents the ears. And these birds have 4-chambered heart. The heart is 4-chambered like human beings, right? And I told you they are homeotherms. They are warm-blooded animals. Okay? And the digestive tract, the digestive system has a special chamber called as crop and gizzard. And the respiratory system is also special because they have air sacs. The lungs are provided with extra compartments which are called as air sacs. Okay, right. And what about their reproduction? These are egg laying, you know that. They are oviparous and direct development to the young ones. And the fertilization is internal, you know that. Clear? So these are the examples of the different kinds of birds. Coming to the last class, the Mammalia. Okay. Now why the bird Mammalia? Because of the presence of mammary gland or milk producing glands. Okay. Now here if you they will ask you the comparison of skin in fishes and amphibians and reptiles or birds and mammals, whatever it is, right? If you take mammals, the skin of mammals is having hairs. This is also one of the important characters of Mammalia. The skin is provided with hair or fur. In many animals, like goat and other animals, bear and all those animals, they have thick hairs on their body, which we call it as fur. Okay, others, we all have hair on our body. And we have 2 pairs of limbs. We have 4 pairs of limbs, of course, but 1 pair is used for walking and the other pair is used for used as hands for doing various work. Okay, now the ear is represented by a pinna, external ear, the pinna. Okay, and you know that our heart is 4-chambered and we are warm-blooded, which means homeotherms. Okay, and all systems are very well developed. Okay, and we are the most developed organisms on the planet Earth, and we can adapt to any kind of situations, whatever it is, right? Okay, so we have also well developed alimentary canal. Our respiration is by lungs. Okay, and there is a separate male and female, and that fertilization is internal, and we are viviparous. Which means what? We give birth to directly to young ones. Okay, so the development is direct. Clear? And we have teeth. Our jaws is provided with teeth. Do the birds have teeth, children? Do the birds have teeth in their beaks, their jaws? No. Whereas mammals have teeth, different kinds of teeth, or dentition, different kinds of dentition. That is, we are heterodont. Heterodont means we have 4 different types of teeth inside our mouth. Okay, this will be learning in the digestive system. It is thecodont because it is well lodged inside the gums, the sockets. That's why it is called as thecodont. And it is called as diphyodont because we have two sets of teeth. When we are born, we are not having teeth in our mouth, right? After some time, we develop milk teeth, which falls, and then we develop a permanent teeth, right? So we have two sets of teeth. That's why it is called as diphyodont. Clear? Okay, now you know the different kinds of teeth, isn't it? The different kinds of teeth in our mouth. Clear? Now these are the different examples of the mammals. Kangaroos, which are the marsupials. Bat, which is adapted to flying. Dolphins and whales are also mammals which are adapted to live in water, aquatic adaptation. Right, now this is duck-billed platypus. Duck-billed, B-I-L-L-E-D, billed platypus, which is egg-laying. This is the only mammal which is egg-laying. Clear? It is called as ornithorhynchus or platypus, duck-billed platypus. Clear, children? These are all the examples under class Mammalia. Now that is the end of this chapter, children. Thank you very much. Okay.